So I'm doing a bit of a survival getaway. The area I came out to here has been burned. I did not realize that. I was expecting lots of beautiful green junipers and pines, but that's okay. I also thought there was going to be sagebrush out here, because kind of the goal of this trip is to build a bow drill kit and make a fire, which is really easy to do with sagebrush, or at least it's really good wood. Anyways, that's not here, but it might be down in the canyon that I'm about to go down into, and I'm pretty sure it is. That's where I'm going to make camp, and there's a nice big creek down there, and no food this trip. It's going to be like a 36-hour fast. So yeah, that's just another survival skill that I'm practicing, often forgotten. It's good to learn how to be hungry, because if you're going to be living off the land and doing survival trips, or living off the land trips, hunting and gathering, you're going to be hungry. And that is something I don't really know how to do all too well. I've practiced a little bit here and there this summer with intermittent fasting, but it has been over a year since I've done a 36-hour fast. So yeah, so far so good. Some grumbling in the tummy. Just started out the hike. Here's my car. But yeah, we're good to go. My favorite part in Survivor Man, every time he comes back to the camera and says, you know, I always have to come back and get these. Okay, I found sagebrush. Here we are. This is the base of a large one. I've been cutting it down and now I'm just shaping it for a fireboard. I don't typically cut green stuff ever, but there's a lot of sagebrush out here, and if you're cutting it correctly, it's not a big deal. And believe it or not, green sagebrush spindles, and actually the fireboard, if it's green too, it works really well. So earlier on the trail, it was raining pretty good, and I thought it was going to keep on raining and getting worse. It stopped, which is really nice. Anyways, so I was collecting dry tinder as I saw it. So here we have some dry pine needles, and then this is some sort of vine. I recognize it, I've seen it before. It's a pretty thick vine that grows up along the stream banks. I think it might be some sort of honeysuckle, and then here's some juniper bark. So something I forgot to do is, so juniper bark makes a really good bird's nest for friction fire. But you want to get like the really like inner bark, because it's very layered. There's like hundreds of layers of it, and I totally forgot, and I just peeled off the outside, which is thick and brittle and like dusty. And you want to really like get it inside further more. And I tore that off of a dead tree anyways, so I didn't feel bad about it, and it would not have mattered if I had gone in deeper and really gotten those inner, more like cambium layers. So yeah, so those more inner layers, they shred easier and they stay kind of nice and long, and they're more fibrous, and so they tear apart nicely into long, very thin strands that you can really work it really well and like make it very fine. And yeah. Not today. My beautiful bird nest, it was all ready for a little cull from the bow drill. But instead, I'm going to defile it with a match. So sad. It's just too easy. Sometimes life is too easy and you have to go out and make it harder for yourself. And that's what I'm doing. Except hunger is enough, and so I brought matches because I would like a fire. And here comes the pine needles. This tree made life easy. This big pine tree above me has kept so much stuff dry. Makes for a really nice camp. I got like 6 inches of spongy pine needles underneath me to sleep on. They're so dry. I don't even need my sleeping bag or a mat. I'm perfectly comfortable. without any of those things. I surprisingly slept well. Dreamt a lot about food, which is funny. Pretty freaking hungry right now, which is great. Honestly, yesterday it seemed... Gotta get this eye booger out. Yeah, it was not that hard yesterday going without food. And then like for me, you know, I don't do that often, so I was expecting it to be difficult, and it's totally fair that it would be difficult, I guess is what I'm saying. But I mean, some of you people out there are like, I can go like 3 days easy without food. Well, anyways, I'm working my way up. I'm gonna work our way to the top, starting with 1 day or a day and a half more or so. Then it'll be 2 days next time, and then 3 days, and then 4 and 5, and then we're gonna be doing some real survival treks. Well, the shelter held up well last night. There was a storm for a little bit that woke me up, and it was blowing this thing, and it was raining pretty decently, but nothing horrible. But pretty calm night. Woke up to clear skies. Yeah, it was probably down to like 28 degrees last night, so not too bad. I just these few days were supposed to be really rainy and really cold at night and during the day too, but just the weather is just taking a turn for the better. It's pretty sweet. Anyway, so I'm gonna take a different way back to my car, go a little bit more off trail, and meander back. Yeah. So the creek, I've been hiking along the creek for like half a mile, and it's just been going through a really deep trench canyon the whole time. And I'm just now turning back towards where I camped to try to get across a kind of a sketchy spot. No, not that sketchy, it'll work. But it was like the only place, but it was still crappy, so I kept pushing on. But the canyon just gets deeper and deeper, and there's literally just like no way down to the creek and no way up on the other side. So here I go back. It's slippery. The sun has not hit this side of the canyon yet, and there's ice on all the rocks. Okay, I found my way. Oh man, I think I'm only feeling hungrier right now because I know there's peanut butter oatmeal waiting in my car. But anyways, let's see here. So everything is pretty walled in, but I found this little section where I can get down right here. I haven't checked out the river yet. I don't actually know if I can get across the river. And then there's a little scramble up back here. But literally it's just this little section right here. Well, I got about 2.5 feet deep there. That was pretty fucking deep. That's where I just came from. Boom. Last water until I get up to my car. Can't leave my camera behind. Okay, 43 hours since my last meal, and then 40 hours since I had some dark chocolate. Oh yeah.